This is James Lupton for Round 8 Boxing, and we're sponsored by Upton Clan Builders. And I'm delighted to join today with Gully Powar. Gully, how are you, mate?
How you doing, mate? You all right?
All good, thank you, mate. Last time we spoke, obviously, you was in the WBC Grand Prix out in Saudi, in Riyadh. Just talk to me a little bit about that experience. Obviously, it didn't work out the way you planned. Obviously, everything for a reason, and you're coming on to bigger and better things. But let's talk about the Grand Prix first of all. How was that whole experience for you?
Yeah, it was a great experience, man. Obviously fighting in Riyadh, that's where all the big fights are happening. It was a big risk, it was a big step up, fought two top prospects in the world, and just fell short in the second one. There's a lot of controversy in it, but that fight's done now, so we just move forward. But it's a great experience, fighting on the world stage, and yeah, man, it took me to a next level. It took me to a whole new level now.
What did you learn from the experience and the loss?
I learned a lot, man. I learned just learned loads about my fundamentals in boxing as well. Fighting guys that at the top level. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, the first guy I fought, they had him beating me on wide margins. You know what I mean? And we upset it, like you know what I mean, because he beat a former world champion. He had a few fights on the big stage as well in America. But yeah, like we took him to the deep waters and won that fight. The second fight was against a guy that had 100% KO ratio. And I'm not bothered about stuff like that, you know what I mean? To me, it's an illusion and fear is an illusion. But I learned a lot, man. I learned like, the game's tough sometimes and this is what it's all about. But I'm not the type of guy that, sulks about it. I just get back in the gym, I train hard and yeah, straight back out, man. You know what I mean? British title fight.
You mentioned obviously being out international stage where all the big fights happening out in Saudi Arabia. What was that like? 'Cause obviously you're used to fighting on the small hall scene, fighting close to home in Wolverhampton. Obviously going over there is a completely different world in terms of being in that ring for yourself. What was that like? And did it not phase you, but did it feel different, or was it just a ring's a ring?
You know what? I always believed in myself that I would get to that stage, probably not as early as I thought. But to me, as soon as I'm in the squared circle, like obviously the whole occasion was massive, of course, in it fighting in Riyadh, leading up to it, it was massive, you know what I mean? The whole WBC was involved, just massive. But as soon as I stepped in the ring, it was just like I'm a different person. I don't think about who's outside the ring, who's watching me. I'm just there to do a job. And yeah, it was a great experience, man, fighting there. But I just had a job to do, and dared to be great. Fell short a little bit, but we're back stronger, and I'm coming for everybody now, man.
Did you feel your fan base and your profile rise from entering the Grand Prix?
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely, like you gain a lot of new fans. I had a lot of like Mexican fans follow me after the second fight. A lot of people telling me I won the fight as well. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it was just a good learning curve, you know what I mean? Fighting strong fighters, fighting skillful fighters, and obviously it's led me up to this year, like of what's gonna happen, which is a British title fight. You know what I mean? I'm only 23 years old, so like I've got, a lot of time. I'm still mad young for fighting for British titles. Most people go for the youth titles and stuff, but me, I want to fight the best and I want to achieve a lot of great things in the sport. So I'm just ready to rock and roll and get back in there. Do you know what I mean? And the 12 rounds suit me. Like, if anyone watches second fight, I was fit, I was healthy. I can do the rounds. You know what I mean? I'm ready to, you know, go another 6 rounds. Like, that's the fighter I am. You know what I mean? I get stronger throughout the round. So, I know people saying that I ain't done an 8 round, doing six. I'm not, sorry, I've only done one 8 rounder, never done a 10 or 12 rounder, but they're going to be in for a shock when they see me fight on that night because I train like a monster in the gym. So, I'm just ready, man.
Well, as I said, everything happens for a reason. You've obviously gone to that Grand Prix, didn't get the result you wanted in your second fight. However, you have now been ordered to fight for the British title against Rhys Edwards. It looks like it's happening on a boxer card in December. We don't know the exact date or venue, anything like that just yet, but we know it should be happening this year. How excited does that make you to know you'll be fighting for this British title?
Yeah, I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited. I've been training like a monster since I found out, and I'm just ready to rock and roll. Rhys Edwards is obviously a good fighter. Do you know what I mean? He's obviously been at the stages. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. But I'm coming there with both hands, and I'm fighting to the death. You know what I mean? That's my mentality. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a great fight. You know what I mean? I hope he comes at his best, but I'm gonna come at my best, and then best man win, which will be me.
Have you watched much of Rhys at all?
I seen him fight. I seen him fight the Peter McGraw fight when he came on short notice. I remember watching it on the Riyadh card, but not too much other than that. To be fair, I think he fought on the same card as me when I was in fighting in Wolverhampton, but I didn't get the chance to watch it because I left. But yeah, he's a decent fighter, decent boxer. He's got decent skills as well. He's a good fighter, man. So it's gonna be a great fight, styles clash, and I can't wait.
In terms of your preparation, do you watch much footage of your opponents? Is it something your coaches do, or is it a case of there's not an awful lot of point you feel because on the night he could be a completely different person?
Yeah, it's just that that's exactly that. Like obviously, he could be a different fighter to a different style. To me, I just adapt to and I get in the ring. I'm one of the fighters that studies boxing. I watch all the great fighters. I watch him. I watch different styles and I implement them attributes into my style, and that's what makes me different to everybody else. But yeah, like I've seen like one of his fights, maybe two of his fights. He's decent fighter. That's all I know about him. But I'm just there to do a job. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna take it with both hands.
Does knowing that he's a good fighter raise your level a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, of course, man. When they're better and they come to fight, I'm even better. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not like journeymen trying to survive. They're trying to have a go, and that's what I want in it. I want someone to really raise my levels through boxing, like the skills, the pressure, whatever it is, man. That's when people see the best of me, and that's what I want in it. I'm not in this sport like I've already had what two hard fights this year, and this is my third one. Obviously, I had a little um I had a fight in Stoke that was just a comeback fight just to get me the win so we can get through to the British. But I don't want no easy fights. I want to fight the best, and that's what I'm in this sport for. You know what I mean? I spar the best fighters out there, and I'm not here to play games and stuff. I'm here to win, and that's what I want to do. That's that's on my mind, which is war, as Hagler would say. You know what I mean? So I just want to fight, man. That's it.
You mentioned obviously being on the big stages where you always knew you'd be. You maybe just got there a little bit earlier and a bit sooner than you expected. Has this British title come sooner than you had expected?
Yeah, most definitely. That was not something I expected, of course. Obviously, but you know, when I fought in Riyadh, the people I was fighting was a decent level, high level. You know what I mean? And you know, I think the board obviously thought, you know, I'm worthy of that fight. So they put me forward, which is great news. And I literally only found out what maybe this I actually only found out on the day, to be fair, when I seen it. So I was really excited for it. But this is the moments I've been training for. Like I train 24/7. I'm always in the gym and this is what it's all about, you know what I mean? And this is what I want to do. So like I said, everyone's going to see the best of me, a better performance, even better than I was in Riyadh, and they're going to see a masterclass.
A win here, claiming a British title, becoming British champion. What does that do in terms of propelling you in your career?
It's massive, man. British title is one of the best belts, I would say, to win. Like having that Lonsdale belt, it's like if you go into the history books of Britain in it, and it's gonna be great, man. Like I can't wait. And honestly, like it's a dream come true for me because when you look at all these fighters fighting for British titles when I was growing up, you know what I mean, and now I'm fighting for it myself at such a young age. It's a dream come true, and obviously it leads me to the world title stages, which I want to be at. But my main focus is obviously winning the British title first.
Would you like to win the British title outright? So you've got to win it, you've got to defend it successfully three times. Not a lot of people do that these days. Obviously, you're still very young. You mentioned you're 23 years old. You're not in any rush to get to the next level, whether that be European, world champions, etc. Do you want to defend it three times outright and win that belt and have that yours for keeps?
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously, we'll see what happens on the business side of things. We'll see what happens, but I ain't ducking nobody. I want to fight the best. So whatever it is, if the money's right as well, we'll take any fight, man. Do you know what I mean? So I'm in this game to take risks. I'm in this game to fight the best. So if a defense is fighting someone that's a good fighter, I'm gonna do that, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. So, you know, yeah, that's it.
I know you're a supremely confident fighter. You've got massive belief in your own ability, Gully. Obviously, as mentioned, you're still only 23 years old. Where do you see yourself in, I was normally say 5 years' time, but you're only going to be 28 then. So let's say 10 years' time, 33, probably still fighting. But where do you want to be at that point?
Uh, You know what? I don't ever put that expectation on myself because I know I could be an undisputed champion of the world. You never know, but I want to be British champion. I want to be world champion, European champion. Like I know that's such a common thing to say, but I'm kind of gonna prove it. You know what I mean? So each fight, everyone's gonna see what I'm capable of doing, and what gives me so much confidence is my training. Um, I train really hard all the time. You know what I mean? I'm always in camp, so I don't really leave the gym. I'm always working, and that's what makes me dangerous as a fighter. Do you know what I mean? And I'm obsessed in it, and that's the key thing. So with me, that's where my confidence comes from my hard work, my dedication to the sport. And like I said, like I've got a lot of big dreams that I'm obviously I believe in myself that I'll achieve. But right now, my main focus is getting that first step out the way, ticking that first box. And then obviously, as I see in 10 years' time, hopefully, in God's will, I'll achieve everything that I've got set out to, get to the top level.
Definitely. Last question from me, Gully. A bit of a fun one. You mentioned there you like to study all the greats. You're a real student of the game. If you could pick any fighter as an opponent in history, who would it be and why?
I've got two. I'd fight Roberto Duran and I'd fight Salvador Sanchez. But when Roberto Duran was at lightweight, because that's when he was at his best, in my opinion, obviously he went up to welterweight, etc. But Salvador Sanchez is my favorite featherweight, and Roberto Duran was just overall my favorite fighter of all time. Like what he achieved, he was just one of them guys that got in the ring and just achieved greatness, and that's why he was a legend. In my opinion, top 10 best ever. Do you know what I mean? So, but I think Salvador Sanchez at featherweight, and if I ever move up Roberto Duran at lightweight, so yeah, that'd be a great fight.
Are those two fighters guys that you sort of watch and study, and do you try to implement some of their styles into yours?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, I like the mindset of Duran. Like, he wasn't really a type of fighter that really was scared of anybody. He was like the type of guy who say yes to anything, and that's what I'm like. I'm just as soon as my coach Richie always like tells me you got this sparring or that fighting or whatever, I'm just like yes straight away. Like, I ain't really the type of guy to make excuses. I just come and do what I gotta do. Same with Salvador Sanchez, like if you looked, he was only 22 years old, 21 years old when he won the world title against what was his name? So there's Lopez, his name was, and he won the world title, then defended it against him, beat Wilfredo Gomez. These are great champions that he's beating at such a young age. And at the time, Wilfredo Gomez was like a Golovkin. He was like wiping everybody out, and you know that's just a mindset you got to have as a champion. And obviously, unfortunately, he passed away at such a young age, but that's what I wanna be at that stage where I'm dethroning fighters, great fighters as well. Like, and this is my first step this year.
Absolutely. Well, good. I want to thank you very much for your time. Always a pleasure speaking to you, and all the best of luck for December.
Thank you very much. Cheers.